Justice served in an honest fight. True crime tales till the verdict's right. Solving more than just trivial quests, where sentences rule at the defense rests.
Well, hello, fancy being you here. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good day. Welcome. You have landed on the defence rests. If it's your first time here, suffering your jocks. Second time, you should know better. Good morning. Who have we got? Hello, Louise. How you going, sweetheart? And Miss Anna. Hello. Hello. Listening while driving. Well, I'll be talking. So there's plenty of listening to be done. Trust me. I just printed the narrative out and it took 10 minutes. I'm like, no, it couldn't be that long, surely. But my stupid printer's been printing. Come here, Felix. Ugh. Can you hear that? My fur baby with separation anxiety. Come here. Come on. Yes, I can hear you sucking. Just because I had you muted. Come on, happy come. Come on, say hello. Come on. Hello. Hello. Should we put kitty cam on? No, you just want to step over everything, right? No worries. Whatever. Hello, my sweet. How you doing? I haven't responded because I haven't looked. So I don't know what one is on about. Come up here, Felix. Come on, I've got the camera set up now. No, you won't come up, you watch. So, weekends, what do we do? Anything exciting? Come on. You know I live vicariously through you lot, so I know someone went fishing. How do I know this? Aha. You'll have to check out our Discord channel. Look at that. Here's the link I prepared earlier. Yep. It's going to be one of those days, I think. Oh, hello. Come and sit over here. Come on. This is where the camera is. Hey. Ted. Hey. No one wants to see your butthole. Come on. Come here. Felix. Come here. Come on. What's here? Come on. What is it? Ooh, there you go. Oh, I haven't turned it on. No, don't come back. He's going to be one of those turds, isn't he? No matter where I put that camera. He's just going to stand on the other side. And he's flicking his tail at you. My mummy. Isn't it? Hey? Uh-huh. Who needs children? Really? That's better. I'd rather your face, not your butt. All right. So this is Felix. This is a case that I've been sitting on for probably nearly 18 months. When did it occur? 2021. But it was postponed and postponed and postponed. There is two defendants, the mother and her boyfriend. So there was going to be two trials. But they kept getting delayed. And then the mother turned state's witness and took a plea deal against the boyfriend. And it just went on like that. And it was supposed to be done in April, which I had it ready to go. You know those ones that I go, yeah, this is a good one, I'm set up, and then the day turns up and they're not streaming it. One of those. So then it was booked for June, and in June they both did a plea deal. So it didn't actually go to court, which was actually booked for October this year. Hello, Christine. How you going, sweetheart? So it is a current case. It's just that it wasn't live streamed. Not, my opinion is there's a lot of trials out there that don't necessarily make the cutting room floor, but that doesn't mean that they're any less worthy of being heard. So yes, this is my I actually did this and prepared a lot of it, as I said, 12 months ago, and had to just revise it all quickly over the weekend so that, and add a few things because there's been a few updates with the outcomes and the sentencings and stuff. So yes, but it's another tragic case of being let down, children being let down by the people that they are supposed to trust the most. And it wasn't like there wasn't another option either. But I'll explain as we go. So go and grab yourselves a cuppa, a blankie, take your bra off, curl up on the couch, and we'll get into it. Peppermint tea. Nectar of the gods. Okay. Now let me get rid of all this palaver. Now I do have a giggle because I did load all of this up into my database and I asked it to write me a storytelling narrative. So, yeah, that's what you're getting. All right. It's like we'll set the scene. I should dim the lights. I feel like I need something in the background. Oh, actually, I will play you this before we start because this is just beautiful. This is Oaklee Snow. She was just about to turn 2. Look at her. Oh, no sound. Oh, no, it was a video that didn't have sound. That's right. Look at how beautiful she is. Look at that. Some people. Yeah. How long is that one? I might just play. No, I'll give some background first. It's all right. Don't mind me. I'm just talking to myself. Okay, so let's set the scene. So, in the small town of Cromwell, Oklahoma, a tragedy was quietly taking shape, one that would eventually shock 2 states and expose catastrophic failures in systems designed to protect children. This is the story of Oaklee Snow, a bright-eyed toddler whose short life would end in unimaginable horror and the adults who failed her at every turn. Our story begins with a family already fractured. Oaklee May Snow was born on March the 10th. Oh, it's the day before my baby's birthday. Oh. Oh. Plus 20 years. March 10th, 2021. Alicia was born March 11th, 2001. To a young woman named Madison Marshall. Just 7 months earlier, Madison would have another child, a son named Coleton. Whilst Madison was their biological mother, both children lived primarily with their father in Cromwell, a small community in the Seminole County of Oklahoma. The exact custody arrangements remain unclear from our court records, but what we know is crucial. The children's father provided their primary care and stability. He wanted custody of both of those children, and he was more than happy to take full responsibility in every way, shape, or form. Madison, at just 20 years old when Oaklee was born, would later tell others that she never wanted her and found mothering challenging. This admission would prove tragically prophetic. Now, if you're a mother that doesn't want children, leave them with the father. Or perhaps contraception. Just saying. She didn't have to take the children with her. So, into this already complicated family dynamic comes in Roan Waters, the boyfriend. A 25-year-old man with a violent criminal history that should have been a red flag to anyone, especially concerned when there's children concerned. Waters had served nearly 4 years in the Indiana State Prison following a 2018 burglary conviction in Shelby County. He was released in February 2022, having served the time. But could have been extended to 2037 under the original sentence. He must have been out on good behaviour or something. Now, Madison Marshall, living in Oklahoma, connected with this ex-convict from Indiana. How she did it is not detailed, but their relationship would prove deadly for Oaklee. Waters moved to Oklahoma to be with Madison, and the couple began cohabitating in Cromwell, where Madison had access to her children. So she was settled in Cromwell. She had a stable home. She had a responsible father that she could basically have all of her freedom 99% of the time if she wanted, and hand the kids to him, and he was more than happy to take over the responsibility. But she chose not to. From the beginning, their relationship was characterized by drug abuse and violence. Court documents reveal that both Madison and Waters were avid drug users who primarily smoked the H, causing them to be non-functioning for prolonged periods. Charming. Model parents. Friends and family members would later testify that they rarely held their children, instead placing them in front of a television, the old TV babysitter, for most of the day, and never showing them any love or affection. But the drug abuse was only part of the problem. Waters brought a pattern of violence that would escalate rapidly, and Oaklee bearing the brunt of his rage. The first documented violence was officially recorded against Oaklee in October 25th, 2022. That's my mum's birthday. What the fuck? Not 2022, but that's bizarre. A date that should have been a turning point, you think, to a responsible parent? Maybe. But instead became just another missed opportunity to save a child's life. That's bizarre that there's 2 dates in there that just about relate to me. On that day, according to Madison's later testimony to police, Waters struck 1-year-old Oaklee in the face because she was crying. As you do. When Madison tried to intervene, Waters slapped her across the left side of her face, leaving visible contusions over her left eyelid and cheek. Oaklee's upper lip was cut from the blow. So he's a big, tough man, and he hits not only women, but children. Special place for you. The next day, October 26, Madison Marshall did something that might have saved her daughter's life. She contacted the, oh my God, I'm going to really balls this name up. Don't laugh at me. Oakfuski? Oakfuski? OKFUSKEE? Uh-huh. Oaklee County Sheriff's Office to report the abuse. Deputies photographed Oaklee's injuries and documented Madison's facial contusions, and they attempted a welfare check at the couple's shared residence, but Walters slammed the door in their faces, shouting for them to get the fuck out. Charmer. When deputies later spoke with Madison from their patrol car, Waters reportedly began yelling and playing loud music. Actually, I think just a second. I actually think I saw a clip of that. I remember, like a body cam clip. Let me see. This it's been a bit choppy because when it's not a live feed on a trial, you're getting documents from gavel drops, you're getting clips from newspapers, you're getting clips from online TV stations, and you've got to piece it all together. But I'm pretty sure one of the local stations had some body cam footage of this. Oh, there's so many pictures of her. She's so cute. Where is it? See the child. These are all after she went missing. What's that? You see. I'll just check, just to make sure, because it actually showed that. Oh my lord! Oh, all right, I'm gonna have to show you this picture because it's share screen. And add to stage. Oh. Okay. Have a look how beautiful she is. I need to move that across there. Okay. Let's full screen this. What are you doing, you stupid thing? Look at that. Look at that. She is just divine. Okay. Yeah. Oaklee. Oaklee? Can't say it. Yeah. I'm just going to be saying Oaklee. You watch. Oaklee County. Oh, look. Bless her. Look at those cheeks. No. No. Not there. Bugger. I'm sure I saw it somewhere, but if I find it, I will. Oh no. I will link it in the description. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. All right. Anyway, moving on. I digress. Hello, sweetheart. How you doing? We've just started, so you haven't missed much. We are doing Oaklee Snow. Check out this little ripper. Look at her. Just beautiful. Okay. Stop getting clucky, Jody. I've been watching all these miracle babies, IVF babies, all afternoon. It's unfortunate that I don't have a uterus anymore. Where's the feet? It's got a gestate in a box. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So, where am I? I really should have got another light, I think. Friends of the couple witnessed this abuse and later told the police that they were disturbed by what they saw. Well, what's the point of telling them and not doing anything about it? Like, really? They described seeing Oaklee with bruising and makeup around her face and mouth that appeared to cover injuries. These same friends, they're not friends, sorry, reported that the couple rarely held their children and never provided them with any love or affection, instead treating them more like burdens than beloved family members. So leave them with their father who wanted them, you stupid fuck. But despite these warning signs, and despite the outstanding warrant, and despite the documented history of violence, no one stepped in to remove Oaklee from this dangerous situation. No one. On January the 19th, 2023, Madison Marshall and Roan Waters made the decision that would set Oaklee's fate. Despite having no legal right to do so, they took both children from their father's home in Cromwell, Oklahoma, without authorization and fled to Indianapolis, Indiana. You don't want them. They're a burden. Leave them with their father if you want to piss off. Is it just me? Ah, yay! Wow. Where's that gone? 9 months. Oh. Holy crap. That's freaky. 9 months. Oh, thank you so much for your support, madame. Hang on. I got something for you. And it's new, and you're the first one. I'm gonna use it.
Come on in. Don't be shy, don't stall. We got a funky vibe. Woo! Defenseless, that's where you belong. Click that like and groove along. Hit subscribe, let the love flow free. Join the fam where you're meant to be.
Yay! You found your people. Holy crap, really? Wow. No, it was before that. Because I was streaming. With AJ in the March or April. So it's been more than that. Oh, I reckon. We'll have to celebrate our anniversary. One moment. I need some lip gloss for that. Right. She is, absolutely. Yep. Oh, did you? Thank you. Look, it's tragic, but it needs to be told. She deserves just as much as anyone else. So probably more, because no one stepped in. So why did they take the children, you ask? The answer appears to be a toxic combination of factors. Waters' family in Indianapolis, where they could hide from the outstanding warrant, they wanted access to the drugs at what they called a trap house. And Madison may have been using the children as leverage in some twisted relationship dynamic. So in other words, we'll bring the children up to visit your grandparents, and then we can go and stay at the trap house and do our shit. The children's father immediately recognized the danger and contacted the Seminole? How do you say it? Come on, someone. Seminole County Sheriff's Office? You guys have some funny names over there. And reported Oaklee and Coleton missing. Now, Coleton was 7 months old at the time, little baby boy. Specifically stating that Marshall and Waters had taken them without permission and likely fled to Indianapolis, where Waters had family connections. Seminole. Thank you. Seminole County. Drop the E. But here we encounter another system failure. Oklahoma law enforcement initially stated that no crime had been committed because Madison was the custody mother. No Amber Alert was issued. The children's father was told that since Madison was their biological mother, her taking them across state lines didn't constitute kidnapping. But if he is the custodial parent with, full parental rights, and they live with him, then he's their primary caregiver. I'm sorry, but no. Especially if there is violence and drug abuse. Seminole County, can you not figure out if there was a fucking crime committed? Really? Maybe you should go work for fucking Norfolk County. So, that decision would prove fatal. The trap house. So, Madison and Waters and the two children arrived in Indianapolis and moved into a rental home owned by Waters' mother in the 300 block of Albany Street. The location would later be described by investigators and neighbours as a trap house. Great place for children. A place dedicated to illicit drug use where people came to buy and consume narcotics. I've got one of them out in front of my place. Yeah. Yep. The chick that was stupid enough to rob my house right in front of the Ring camera while I was in hospital. Yeah, they're not very smart. Waters' mother allowed the couple to stay there. Okay, so this is her son. She obviously knows he's a drug addict. She knows what her house has become, and she's allowed them to stay there. Really? But family members quickly became concerned about what they witnessed. Waters' sister, observing alarming bruising on Oaklee's legs, and confronted the couple about it. Instead of explaining the injuries, Madison and Waters became angry and told her to leave. What was her sister doing there? The living conditions were horrific. The couple spent most of their time using heroin, leaving Oaklee and baby Coleton largely unattended. Neighbours later reported frequent fuss and fight. Hang on. Yep. Coming from the house. The children were often placed again in front of the TV and ignored for hours at a time. During this period, Oaklee's abuse continued and intensified. Waters' violence had become a daily reality to this toddler. She was living in constant fear and unable to eat normally, subjected to regular beatings for normal childhood behaviours. So, why not ring the father and say, come and get them? Yeah? Selfish motherfucker. Oops, said that out loud. Baby Coleton, just 7 months old, was also being neglected, though he appeared to escape the direct physical violence that Waters inflicted on Oaklee. Perhaps because he was too young to anger Waters with his typical toddler behaviour, or perhaps because Waters' rage was specifically focused on Oaklee. I am going to play this before I read it out. Okay?
February 9th, the day Oaklee was last seen, Roan and Madison were woken up that morning to Oaklee's cries because she was hungry, and this really agitated Roan, and he ended up throwing Oaklee to the floor. Oaklee immediately had a red bump above her right eye, and not long after that, Roan was demanding that she bounce on her bouncy ball, and Madison told investigators this wasn't easy for Oaklee because she was very small, but Roan continued to demand this from her and began to scream at her. Madison said that she was in the kitchen making ramen noodles for Oaklee and lunch for everybody else, and there was a friend in their home, who I believe to be Tennessee that we talked about, who ended up leaving at this point. And when he was walking out the door, Oaklee actually tried to leave with him, and he turned around and he told her he would be right back and that she had to stay there. Oaklee then went to the kitchen to tell her mom that she was hungry, but as a 1-year-old does, it came out as "Mommy, eat." Madison claimed to have told her that she was making the food and that she needed to go in another room until it was ready, so Oaklee did go back to the living room where Roan was watching TV and her brother Coleton was lying on the floor in front of the TV. Madison said she heard Roan yelling at Oaklee over this bouncy ball and was getting angrier by the minute, and Madison said she tried to yell back to Roan, trying to calm him down and saying that Oaklee didn't understand what he wanted her to do. And after 5 times of hearing Roan yell, Madison actually went into the living room to check on them, and Roan was standing over Oaklee while she tried to get on this bouncy ball. And when Roan saw that Madison was there, he told her that she needed to quit coming in there, and then he went and sat back on the couch. Now, Madison did go back to making lunch until about 10 minutes later when it was completely silent in the house. Suddenly, Roan screamed out for her twice, and Madison claimed she had never heard Roan scream like that before. She ran to the hallway and to the living room where he was, and had found that Oaklee was in his arms. Madison claimed that her eyes were closed and that there was a mix of blood and spittle dripping down her mouth, and when she tried to exhale, it was more of a gurgle. Roan began saying that he didn't do anything, that it wasn't his fault, and as Madison tried to hold Oaklee, Roan fought back and ended up taking Oaklee's clothes off, and Madison claimed when the clothes were off, she could see that Oaklee's stomach and chest would extend as though she was trying to breathe. Madison then watched as Roan put Oaklee in a bathtub filled with cold water. He was allegedly trying to wake her up, but when this wasn't doing what he wanted, Madison was trying to call 911 at that same time. However, Roan slapped the phone out of her hand and allegedly disconnected the call. When it was obvious to Roan that Oaklee was not waking up, Madison claimed that he brought her to her, and then she wrapped her in this blanket that was pink and black with hearts on it, and then they left the home. Madison said that Oaklee was no longer trying to breathe at this point. Her lips were blue, she was cold to the touch, and there was no longer a heartbeat.
Got a couple of neighbors that saw some activity over there. I don't know what time of the day it was, but they say they saw him carrying a blanket covered something. Could have been anything inside the blanket.
Yep, absolutely. And I'll just play this. This is the maternal grandmother speaking out.
This is Oaklee Snow.
No, it's not.
Born the 10th of March, 2021.
Well, there you go. Oh, yeah.
If you don't know who I am the grandmother of Oaklee Snow. And today I'm coming to you brokenhearted and angry that our family has to sit here today and unfortunately tell you that Oaklee's body has been found and that she's no longer with us. And I'm sorry that you have to hear the news today. IMPD, you have let us down. You have allowed documents to be released that should have never been released, for people that should have never had them get their hands on them, for people to know how bad it was for Oaklee. And you have let that out in such a disgusting manner. She's been let down by Ofuskee County in Oklahoma. She's been let down by Seminole County in Oklahoma. She's been let down by IMPD. She's been let down by Division of Family Services in both states. Because if steps had been taken in the very beginning and the right thing had been done, we wouldn't be sitting here today. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who didn't know Oaklee, but took her into your home and into your heart. Thank you for loving Oaklee just as much as we do, sharing her story, and her story isn't over yet. Please know that her story is not over yet.
Just awful. Just awful. All right. 1 second. How do I move that? There we go. All right. Okie dokie. So, pretty much, she was making too much noise. She was hungry. Mum was out in the back making ramen noodles because that's really, really healthy. He's trying to get her to bounce on this bouncy ball. She wouldn't do it properly and lost his temper. But what gets me is the fact that once that happens, the attempts are made, the feeble attempts are made to put her in a cold bath to try and wake her up. And when Madison tries to call 911, he slaps the phone out of her hand. So I don't know if there was anybody else in the house. But I'm sorry, she could have grabbed that child and run. Well, she should have done that. She shouldn't have taken her in the first place, but then there's that. So the cover-up begins. And this is why she's just as liable, if not more so. Rather than immediately seeking help or contacting authorities, Madison and Waters began what would become an elaborate cover-up. They drove Oaklee's body to an abandoned house in Morgan County. Actually, I've got that. Where did I save it? I've got it somewhere. I know I have. Oh, maybe it was in the trailer. Maybe. Yes, I think it was. Let's have a look.
Mother of a missing toddler from Oklahoma is facing neglect charges here in Indianapolis. Police believe 2-year-old Oaklee Snow died here and her body was dumped.
Madison Marshall is in the Marion County Jail tonight, and court records say that she and her boyfriend first took off with her 2 young kids without
Charming couple, aren't they?
and then abandoned them here in Indianapolis.
Joe Marshall told police Waters killed Oaklee in their Southside home in early February. The couple got rid of Oaklee's body before running to Colorado. That's where Waters was later arrested back in March. Marshall was arrested in North Carolina and brought back here to Indy.
Marshall told investigators that Waters killed Oaklee on February 9th, and then she came with her boyfriend as he disposed of Oaklee's body. In a dilapidated house in rural Morgantown. Police found Oaklee's body in a dresser drawer in that long abandoned house last week.
Got a couple of neighbors that saw some activity over there. I don't know what time of the day it was, but they say they saw him carrying a blanket covered something. Could have been anything inside the blanket.
Oaklee went missing
Look at
earlier
that.
this year, and the man accused in her death went before a judge this morning. Today, a jury trial was scheduled for Roan Waters. He was dating Madison Marshall at the time Oaklee Snow went missing.
Her trial is scheduled in July.
Was. No. Stop. Ah. Hey there. Thanks for stopping in. Bow, bow, bow. Sorry. I can't help singing that. Oh dear. All right. So, where are we? So yeah, they dumped her in that the dresser drawer in that abandoned house, just wrapped in the pink blanket with black hearts on it. And it was about 27 miles south of Indianapolis, near Martinsville. Madison later told investigators that during the drive, Waters asked her if she knew where they were and ominously stated, "I don't need to kill you now." Right. A threat that suggested he had considered murdering Madison to prevent her from reporting the crime. At the abandoned property, on what investigators would later identify as the 5800 block of South Bear Wallow Road in Morgantown, Waters carried Oaklee's body through a window into the dilapidated structure. Madison remained outside, and in a moment that illustrated the depths of their drug addiction, used fentanyl while her daughter's body was being hidden inside the house. Waters emerged from the house carrying only the blanket. Oh, I thought they left it on her. Oaklee's tiny body had been stuffed into the bottom drawer of a wooden dresser where it would remain hidden for over 2 months. Meanwhile, back at the Albany Street trap house, they had another problem. What to do with the 7-month-old Coleton? At 7:41 p.m. that same evening, Waters' family members recovered the baby who had been abandoned at the house. Fucking hell. They immediately turned him over to the Indiana Department of Child Services. Why didn't they take them yourself? Isn't that your grandson? Really? Telling officials that Waters and Madison had claimed they left the child because they needed to rush Oaklee to the hospital. That's right. They told family members all of these rubbish excuses, like when people would ask, where is she? Oh, she did this, or she's at her nana's, or whatever. This lie that Oaklee needed emergency medical care would become the first in a series of false stories designed to explain the toddler's absence. The web of lies. When Oaklee's body hidden and Coleton in state custody, Madison and Waters began creating false narratives to explain what had happened. They told Waters' family members that Oaklee had been injured in a fall whilst bouncing on a ball. Half truth, I suppose. And needed to be taken to the hospital for emergency treatment. So, wouldn't your next question be, well, why aren't you by her side? That's where I'd be if my child was injured. Oh, stop. Oh, yeah. Yep, I concur. I concur. So, but when family members tried to find Oaklee at local Indianapolis hospitals, they discovered she was never admitted anywhere. This inconsistency should have immediately raised red flags, but somehow the couple managed to continue their deception. Really? These people dumb? Are they dumb? Or just idiots? Or both? During recorded jail phone calls, hang on. They told some people that they dropped Oaklee off somewhere for her safety. Others were told that she had been left with relatives. The story has just constantly changed. But the common thread was that Oaklee was allegedly safe and being cared for elsewhere. During recorded jail phone calls that investigators would later obtain, Waters admitted to his mother that he had lied about the children's abandonment. He cryptically stated that he had helped Madison with dropping Oaklee off somewhere. These statements, combined with her participation in the cover-up, would later form the basis for criminal charges against her. Good. These notifications, bugger off. I can't see them. Yeah, exactly. No one did a thing. Nothing. So, after disposing of Oaklee's body and abandoning Coleton, Madison and Waters fled Indianapolis. They traveled to Colorado, where Waters believed he might be able to hide from his outstanding Oklahoma warrant while they figured out their next move. But their freedom was short-lived. On March the 3rd, 2023, Waters was arrested at a hotel in Greenwood Village, Colorado, on the outstanding warrant from Ofuskee County, Oklahoma. The same warrant that had been issued months earlier for his abuse of Oaklee, and ironically, it was his violence against the child that ultimately led to his capture. Madison was with Waters when he was arrested, but she was not detained at the time. And this gave her the opportunity to flee further, which she took. She travelled by bus to North Carolina, perhaps believing she would disappear and avoid prosecution for her role in Oaklee's death. But on March 23rd, 2023, following an anonymous tip, Madison was arrested in Harnett County, North Carolina. She was charged with child abandonment related to Coleton and held on an $80,000 bond while awaiting extradition to Indiana. By this time, investigators in multiple states were working to piece together what had happened to Oaklee Snow. The timeline was becoming clear. A child had been taken from Oklahoma in January. Her brother had been found abandoned in Indianapolis in February, and now both primary suspects were in custody. But Oaklee herself remained missing. While Madison and Waters sat in jail in different states, investigators were working tirelessly to find Oaklee. The FBI became involved on the 6th of March, and recognizing that this was likely a multi-state homicide investigation, multiple law enforcement agencies in Indiana, Oklahoma, Colorado, and North Carolina were coordinating their efforts. Too little too late, I'm sorry. Investigators obtained a warrant for Madison's phone records on March the 8th, hoping to trace that the couple's movements and communications would lead them to her whereabouts. They also impounded Waters' Dodge Durango, the vehicle that had been used to transport Oaklee's body. When cadaver dogs were brought to examine the car, they indicated the presence of human remains, evidence that would later support the prosecution's case. The breakthrough came when investigators were able to interview Madison after the extradition to Indianapolis on the 20th of April. Under intense questioning, she eventually broke down and confessed to her role in Oaklee's death and the subsequent cover-up. Madison provided two different versions of events, with the second being more detailed and accurate. She initially claimed that Waters had gone alone to dispose of Oaklee's body, but later admitted that she had accompanied him in the abandoned house in Morgan County. So on the 21st of April, 2023, Madison Marshall led investigators to the abandoned house where Oaklee's body had been hidden for over 2 months. She was described by witnesses as hysterical and sobbing as they approached the property. Really? When Madison saw the dilapidated wooden structure on the steep hill in Morgantown, she immediately identified it, stating, "Oh my God, that's it," and confirming she was 100% confident this was the location where Waters had disposed of her daughter's body. Indiana State Police investigators entered the cluttered, foul-smelling house and quickly detected the odor of decomposing remains. They tracked the smell to a wooden dresser leaning against the living room wall, near the kitchen. What they found in the bottom drawer of that dresser would shock even experienced homicide investigators. Oaklee's tiny, decomposed body had been stuffed inside. Her left leg had clearly been broken at the knee, so that the left foot rested directly over her chest. Her hair was still tied in a ponytail, and she was still wearing a sock on one foot. Heartbreaking reminders this had been a living, breathing child just weeks earlier. This discovery of Oaklee's body transformed what had been a missing persons case into a homicide investigation. Both Madison and Waters would now face murder charges. The forensic evidence. Oaklee's badly decomposed remains were carefully removed from the dresser and were transported to Morgan County's coroner's office for examination. Given the condition of the body, after more than 2 months of decomposition, identification would require DNA testing. On May the 12th, DNA results confirmed what investigators already knew. The remains were those of Oaklee Snow, with a 99.9% match to the known biological samples. I think they need to stuff both Roan and her in the bottom of a dresser drawer. The autopsy conducted by the Morgan County Coroner's Office presented challenges due to the advanced state of decomposition. However, investigators were able to document evidence of trauma, including the broken leg that had been observed at the time. On the 14th of June, the official cause of death was determined to be homicide by unspecified means. Whilst the exact mechanism of Oaklee's death could not be determined due to the decomposition, the manner of death was clearly classified as homicide based on the circumstances and the evidence of prior abuse. The unspecified means classification didn't indicate a lack of evidence for homicide, but rather reflected the forensic challenges presented by the condition of the remains. The totality of the evidence, including Madison's confession, the pattern of prior abuse, the circumstances of the death, and the concealment of the body, clearly established that Oaklee had been murdered. So based on the evidence gathered during their investigation, prosecutors filed comprehensive charges against both defendants. The charges reflected not only Oaklee's death, but also the systematic pattern of abuse and neglect that had predicated it. Madison Marshall was charged with 2 level 1 felony charges, neglect of a dependent resulting in death, level 3 felony, neglect of a dependent resulting in serious injury, level 5 felony, neglect of a dependent abandoning, cruelty, or confining, 2 level 6 felony charges of neglect of a dependent in a dangerous situation, and a level 5 felony assisting a criminal. Notably, Madison was not charged with murder, despite her participation in the cover-up and failure to seek medical help for her dying daughter. Roan was charged with murder in the first degree. 2 level 1 felony charges of neglect of a dependent resulting in death, a level 3 felony of neglect of a dependent resulting in serious injury, level 5 for battery resulting in bodily injury, a level 6 a neglect of a dependent and abandoning cruelty or confinement, and a level 6 felony charges of neglect of a dependent in a dangerous situation. The difference in charges reflected the prosecutor's assessment of each defendant's role in Oaklee's death, with Waters being viewed as the primary perpetrator and Madison as an accessory who failed to protect her child. So, the case moved through the Marion County Superior Court system over the course of nearly 2 years. Both defendants were held without bond, given that severity of the charges and the flight risks that they had already demonstrated. The initial proceedings involved arraignments, pre-trial motions, evidentiary discoveries. Madison's attorneys argued for reduced charges based on her cooperation with investigators and her claim that she had been a victim of domestic violence herself. Really? You're going to cry victim now? No, sorry. Waters' defense team prepared for a murder trial, likely planning to argue diminished capacity or to shift the blame to Madison. However, as the evidence mounted and the strength of the prosecution's case became clear, both defendants began considering plea agreements rather than facing the trial. So, on May the 1st, Madison turned state witness. She accepted a plea agreement offered by the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. The deal represented a significant reduction from her original charges in exchange for her cooperation against Waters. Under the agreement, Madison pleaded guilty to the neglect of a dependent resulting in death and the neglect of a dependent. In exchange, prosecutors agreed to diminish several other neglect charges and the charges for assisting a criminal. Most importantly, Madison agreed to give full and truthful testimony at trial on behalf of the state against the co-defendant, Roan Waters. Now, this plea agreement called for a sentence of 25 years for the neglect resulting in death, for the resulting in death charge, and 2 years for the additional neglect charge to be served concurrently. So this meant that she would be serving 25 years in prison. Hardly enough. On the 1st of May 2025, Madison appeared before Marion County Circuit Judge Jennifer Prince Harrison for her change of plea hearing. She formally pleaded guilty to the agreement and charges and confirmed her willingness to testify against Waters. So, what did he do? May 28th. Madison's cooperation put additional pressure on Waters to reach his own plea agreement rather than face a jury trial where his co-defendant would testify against them. After extensive negotiations, Waters accepted a plea deal on May the 28th, 2026. Now, I was reading this afternoon. Where is it? And it's just, so this one, yes, all right, here's what I prepared earlier. Okay, so the prosecution dropped the murder charge. Dropped it. Completely. So this is an article that came out, I think it was in the Indianapolis. Where is it? It is in, actually, how about, you probably get a better view if I open that up and read it from there. Oh, this is a local station, WPRX WTHR 13. Oh, is that a video about it? Oh, sweet. Share screen. Save my voice. Excuse me. Okay. Embiggen, please. Make it bigger. Come on. Where is it? Zoom it in. No. Mm-hmm. Hmm. All right, let's see what this does.
Mekong River Luxury Cruising, 14 days, just 3,349, including flights. Experience the very best of river cruising.
Sorry, I'm going to mute it because it was the music. I'll probably get us a copyright strike. Ads, skip. Ah, I think I just clicked something else. What the? I did. Get back. Stupid. Skip ad. Okay.
With a mom and her former boyfriend now head into prison for the death of her baby daughter.
The disappearance and death of little Oaklee Snow here in Indianapolis is a case that our Rich Nye has covered for more than 2 years now. And he joins us now live in studio to explain these plea agreements and now the sentences that will come with them. Rich?
Oaklee Snow never made it to her second birthday. Her mother admitted that her boyfriend at the time repeatedly abused the baby girl before she died, and then they dumped her body.
Mm-hmm.
Madison Marshall was set to testify against her former boyfriend, Roan Waters, in a murder trial that was scheduled for early June. As part of a plea agreement, Marshall admitted in court that Waters repeatedly abused her baby daughter. The couple had taken 1-year-old Oaklee Snow and her infant brother without permission from Oklahoma to Indianapolis in early 2023. They were staying at a trap house for using drugs on the south side of Indy. Marshall admitted she was in the house when Oaklee suffered her fatal injury, that she saw blood coming from Oaklee's mouth, and that she did not seek medical attention for her daughter. After Oaklee died, the couple left her body in a dresser drawer in an abandoned house at the top of a hill in rural Morgan County. Waters reached a plea agreement this week to dismiss the murder charge. He instead pleaded guilty to neglect of a dependent resulting in death and 2 counts of neglect of a dependent. He will serve 45 years in prison. That's the maximum sentence on each count and equal to the minimum sentence for murder. Marshall pleaded guilty to neglect of a dependent resulting in death and neglect of a dependent. She will serve 25 years in prison. This case started with Oaklee's father reporting her and her infant brother missing from Cromwell, Oklahoma in January 2023. Oaklee died in February. Marshall and Waters left the baby boy with family and fled to Colorado after Oaklee died. They later split up. Waters was arrested at a hotel in Colorado in March. Police eventually tracked down Marshall in North Carolina in April. She led police to Oaklee's body 2 months after she died.
Oaklee's biological father did not want to comment today on the plea agreements. Madison Marshall and Roan Waters will formally receive their sentences together at a court hearing coming up June 13th.
Yeah, tough case, Rich.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they dropped the murder charge. So getting back to that one, that's pretty much telling you what happened. But, oh, stupid thing. So, 45 years in prison. And she gets 25. So she'll be, what, late 40s by the time she's due to get out? That ain't fair. Sorry. In my opinion, justice has not been served. Oh, I should have spell checked that before I did it. Oops. Dipshits. So now, did they have the sentencing in memento per favore? Because I think they do. Let's have a look. I love scaffold drops. Is that the same thing? Soon find out, I suppose, won't we? A share. Look at her face. She's just. Come on. Oh, take that off first. Then I put it up.
No matter who you are
Wow,
and what
that's
you
loud.
need, Ink Station has everything for you.
Oh, it's so loud.
Headlines now. In Morgan County today, a judge sentenced a woman and her boyfriend for the death of her 1-year-old daughter. The details are difficult to hear. The body of little Oaklee Snow was found stuffed in a dresser in an abandoned house back in February of 2023. Her mom, Madison Marshall, received 25 years in prison. She pleaded guilty to neglect. Her boyfriend, Roan Waters, was sentenced to 45 years in prison. He pleaded guilty to 3 different neglect charges.
I mean, it's a tragedy. The facts are horrifying. The fact that 2 adults who had the care of this child would let these things happen to her and do these things to her is just terrifying. And that's why they're going to the Department of Correction. That's why that 45-year number is important, is because that it is as serious a crime as it gets.
According to Marshall's agreement, she had to testify against Waters during his trial, which was earlier this month.
No matter who you are and what you need, Ink Station has everything for you.
Does the volume go up for you, or is it just my headphones? Are they going to show the hearing?
And today is Monday, August 4th, and here's a look at your headlines in the news. We're following a developing story out of Montana where a massive
Doesn't
manhunt.
look like it. What the hell? All right. Thank you. Let me see if it's on now. No. Nope, there is no. Nothing that I can find. All right. So, oh, I'm glad it wasn't just me. Why are the ads always louder than the rest of it? So, So Friday, June 13th, 25, both defendants appeared before Judge Jennifer Prince Harrison for their sentencing hearings. The date was significant. It marked more than 2 years since Oaklee's death and represented the final chapter in their legal proceedings. Madison was sentenced to the 25 years with an additional 2, a 2-year sentence running concurrently. And she will serve the full 25 years for her role in her daughter's death. Roan was sentenced to the 45 years in prison for his role as the primary perpetrator of the violence that killed Oaklee. So their combined total was 70 years in prison. During the sentencing hearing, Dan Cicchini, the chief trial deputy for the Marion County Prosecutor's Office, made a statement that captured the community's outrage. The fact that 2 adults who had the care of this child would let these things happen to her and do these things to her is just terrifying. And that's why they're going to be to the Department of Corrections. That's what, he quoted it, sorry. That's why that 40-year number is important. It's because it's as serious a crime as it gets. They were entrusted with the care of a 2-year-old baby who failed miserably, and it resulted in her death. Neither defendant made statements during their sentencing hearings, and the court records do not indicate any victim impact statements from family members. Now, so what happened to Coleton? So, while the legal system focused on prosecuting Madison and Waters for Oaklee's death, the fate of 7-month-old Coleton Snow was being determined through separate child welfare proceedings. Immediately after the abandonment at the Albany Street trap house on February the 9th in 23, Coleton was recovered by Waters' family members and turned over to the Indiana Department of Child Services. This quick action likely saved the infant's life, as he was removed from the dangerous environment before he could suffer the same fate as his sister. DCS conducted its own investigation and assessments of Coleton's needs and family situation. Given that his biological parents were facing serious criminal charges and that his primary caregiver, the father in Oklahoma, was both willing and able to provide care, the decision was made to return Coleton to his father. Gee, really? Ah. If she is. You mean you actually... Mm-hmm. DCS conducted their own investigation and assessment of Coleton's needs and family situation. Right. So, Coleton was returned to his father. In February 23, Coleton returned to his father, Zachary Snow, in Oklahoma. And this represented a return to stability and safety for the infant who had spent the first months of his life in an environment characterized by drug abuse, violence, and neglect. Current status. As of the sentencing in June 25, Coleton would be approximately 2.5 years old. Court records and news coverage do not provide any detailed information about his current condition or development, which is appropriate given privacy considerations for a young child who is a victim of these crimes. What we can reasonably assume is that Coleton is being raised by his father in Oklahoma, hopefully in a stable and loving environment. And that will help him to overcome the trauma that he experienced in his early months. Unlike his sister Oaklee, Coleton escaped the deadly violence that characterized his mother's relationship with Roan Waters. Hopefully he doesn't remember it either. The Indiana Department of Child Services would likely have provided or recommended trauma-informed care and services to address any developmental or psychological impacts from Coleton's early exposure. As the legal proceedings concluded, the Oaklee Snow case left behind troubling questions about system failures that contributed to this tragedy. Multiple agencies and individuals had opportunities to intervene and save Oaklee's life, but each failed at their critical moments. So the Oklahoma system failures included, despite Madison's report of abuse in October 22 and a warrant being issued in November 22, Waters remained free. No effective intervention was made to remove Oaklee from the dangerous situation or to remove him from that situation. When the children were taken across state lines, law enforcement initially determined that no crime had been committed and no Amber Alert had been issued for the missing children. In Indiana, family members witnessed the ongoing abuse, but no formal reports were ever made to Child Protection Services. The trap house environment where the children were living should have triggered immediate intervention. And despite multiple warning signs, no welfare checks were ever made. Federal and interstate coordination failures. The poor communication between state agencies delayed recognition of the severity of the situation. The outstanding warrant for Waters was not effectively enforced across state lines, and no coordinated response was mounted when the children were abducted across state lines. Family and community failures. Waters' family members who owned the house and enabled it, who owned the house where the abuse occurred and witnessed signs of violence, did not contact authorities until after Oaklee was dead. Friends and acquaintances who witnessed abuse did not make formal reports to child services, and the community of drug users and dealers who frequented the Albany Street house failed to recognise the obvious child endangerment that they were witnessing. The Oaklee Snow case generated significant community outrage and calls for reform. Family friends led by individuals like Melody Jordan and April Kelly organised advocacy efforts to ensure that Oaklee's death was not forgotten and to push for systemic change. Petitions calling for murder charges against Madison Marshall. Wow. So this is part of the advocacy efforts that they were trying to do to actually have the charges raised to include murder. They wanted for calls for accountability for Waters' family members who may have enabled the abuse. Yep. And they were reforming for efforts to change the Amber Alert laws based on the failure in Oaklee's case. All right. So, the death of Oaklee represents one of the most preventable tragedies in recent memory. This was not a case where warning signs were subtle or hidden, and the danger to Oaklee was documented and reported and witnessed by multiple people over multiple months. From the first documented abuse in 22 through to her death in February 23, there were numerous opportunities for intervention, and none of them happened. Instead, Oaklee fell through the cracks in every system designed to protect children. She was failed by law enforcement, child protective services, the courts, and the adults in her life who should have protected her. Perhaps most tragically, Oaklee's death was the culmination of a pattern of violence and that escalated over months. She didn't die from a single moment of rage. She died from a systematic abuse and torture that multiple adults allowed to continue. The sentences imposed on Madison Marshall and Roan Waters, respectively, represent substantial punishment, but they cannot undo the fundamental failures that led to Oaklee's death. She was almost 2 years old when she died. She should have been learning to walk, to talk in full sentences, to play with toys, to experience the love and security that every child deserves. Instead, she lived her final moments in terror, pain, and neglect. Her legacy now rests in whether her death will lead to meaningful reforms that protect other children from these similar fates, or whether the system that failed her will be strengthened to prevent future tragedies. Whether the adults who might have saved her life will be held accountable for their failures, who knows? Coleton Snow, however, now growing up with his father in Oklahoma, represents the child who was saved, the one who escaped before it was too late. His survival serves as both a reminder of what could have been and a testament to the importance of swift intervention when children are in danger. The Oaklee Snow case will be studied by child protection professionals, law enforcement agencies, and legal scholars for years to come. But beyond its value as a case study. It stands as a stark reminder of the price we pay when systems designed to protect children fail at their most fundamental mission. In the end, Oaklee Snow's story is not about the two adults that killed her. It's about all of us and our collective responsibility to protect the most vulnerable members of our society. It's about the importance of speaking up when we see abuse, of demanding accountability from our institutions, and of never forgetting that behind every statistic is a child who deserves better. Oaklee May Snow, born the 10th of March 2022, died on February 9th, 2023. She deserved better, and we must do better. There you go. I think she was almost 2 weeks off. The 10th of March, so 4 weeks off, 2. It ain't fair, I tells ya. It just ain't fair. Oh, hello, Flowers Mum. Sorry, I had my stand in front of the chat. Sorry, I didn't want to keep moving my head. Sorry, I've missed a lot. Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. And yeah, she was to have a look at this, Flowers Mum. I can't stop looking at it. She's just adorable. Look at that face. I just want to pick her up and squeeze her. Yeah. She didn't deserve that. That's shit. My Discord application has been pending for... Oh! Really? Shite. Really? I can't see anything. It doesn't actually give me a any notification that someone has asked to join. Hang on. That should automatically come like as some kind of message to me to say, hello, someone wants in. Members. Oh, look, there's 4 pending. Fucking hell. Sorry. I think that did it. Did I do it? See if you can get in now. I think I did it. See, I'm really shit. Really shit at Discord. I've never claimed. Do I have to do it each or? Doesn't come with instructions. Oh, approved. 1. Okay. That's one down. That's two down. Woohoo! Found it. And Palola's mum. Yee! You're in. Sorry. My bad. I'm so sorry. But welcome. I've actually started to put some we'll try and start to put some fun stuff on there so that we can all go in and have a bit of fun. Hey Tan, how you going? Where did you pop in from? You came right at the end. Jodie, look at the pic I sent. Oh, okay. Where is it in WhatsApp? Hey there. Oh my God. Wow. Can I share that? Holy crap. It's almost identical to us, yeah? I can share? Sweet. Thank you. I have to take a picture of it. I won't put your phone number in there. I'll keep it private to show the photo. Packages. And that would come under Marshall. Hold on for a Marshall. Remember that ad? Okay, so pictures. Yep. Saved there. Save. Now, let me see if I can bring up both pictures at once. Let me see how clever I might be. Not very. Image. Pictures. Madison. To go. There. I really need to clean some of these files out, I think. Okay. There we go. There's one. Now, wonder if I put one up there. Have a look at that. That's Teresia's niece. What if I do this? Oh, that didn't work. What about I can't put them up together. It won't work. But yeah, have a
Very nice.
Photo. Stop it, Tony. Stop clicking buttons. All right, so have a look at this little beautiful face. Right there. And this is Teresia's niece. Wow. Just wow. What? How old? Like, what year was she born? Well, how old is she now? Teresia? Hey, Anna. How you doing? Oh, she's adorable. Absolutely adorable. Put background as one, then bring it up. The videos, though, not. Well, I might be able to put. And that one to the background. And then wow. Same nose, same lips. Wow. 23. So it was 20 years ago. So wow, they must be the same age. Was she born in 20? When was Oaklee born? 20. The hell did I say it? I just had it in my, there we go, March the 10th, 2021. Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yes. Because I said it was 20 years and 1 day different to Alicia. So your niece was born 2003? No, 2002. Something like that. Oh, thank you, Tan. I'm glad someone's brain's working at this time of the morning. Thank you. I got there in the end. Oaklee's picking the video with her hair down. And that. Ah, yes, this one.
From her and began to scream at her.
Stop. Nope, that's not her. That one there. I can't move that though. Won't let me. Damn it. But you're right, yes. Oh. Now it's completely gone. Okay. Well, that completes a couple of my backlogs that I've been sitting on for quite some time. So I'm pleased that they've had their story told because I've been meaning to tell it for a while. But with all the court delays and again, it was set for June and they took a plea deal. So yeah, it would have been presented in this way anyway, because I've got so many that I've followed that just don't, they're either in a county where there is no cameras allowed in the courtroom, or they take plea deals and they never go to trial. And I do all this prep work. So bugger it, I'm going to start presenting them. If they don't go to trial, they may as well play a song. What song? What have I missed? You too, sweetheart. What have I? Oh, okay. Hang on. What's that? Sign in. Oh, fuck. My hands are not working. I dropped my my hands were that numb this morning. I must have dropped my vape 4 or 5 times, and the last time I dropped it on my big toe, and oh my god, it bled like a stuck wood. Like with just a vape, dropped it on my big toe. Hurt like a mofo, and I didn't realize, but it had been bleeding, so I had lovely blobs on my carpet beside my bed. So what song am I playing? Am I in yours, or mine? Shit, I don't know where I've gone. No, this is mine. How did I end up there? Ugh. Oh, okay, here we go. I think I found it. Cool Cat Joel? Is that the song you want? I can't see the... Yeah, I clicked on the link and it took me to mine. What's the name of the song? Is it Cool Cat Joe? And I can't see StreamYard whilst I've got Suno open. I have to flick between 2 windows. So, okay. I have to share. Share page. Hey, Dave.
There once was a cat named Joe living in old Thibodeau. He didn't have a wife, he didn't have no dough. He struts to the left, he struts to the right. He out on the town till the morning light. He's just a cool cat Joe. I was walking down the street just the other day, and who do you think was coming my way? He looked so cool, he looked so right. That cool cat was out of sight. He's just a cool cat Joe. I was walking down the street just the other day, and who do you think was coming my way? He looked so cool, he looked so right. That cool cat was out of sight. He's just a cool cat Joe. Sleeping in the day, fighting in the night. He takes his lickings till morning light. He struts to the left, he struts to the right. That cool cat, he's out of sight. Because he's cool cat Joe. He's cool cat Joe.
Cool. I want to make a song now. I've just been having a look through some of the shit I've got on here. Oh my lord. The sidebar ones, I've actually got full songs of that. Let's have a listen. Oh, hang on. You're not going to hear it because... Oh, there we go. What the hell? You deserve it. No, that's not it. Oh.
feel the groove. Hidden secrets, we're on the move. Ha. It's a vibe you can't deny. Like and subscribe. Oh, don't be shy. Side by side, it's in your sight. Funky message shining bright. Disco beats, they'll hypnotize. Hit that button, don't think twice.
Can you tell I was born in the 70s?
Disco. Did you see it? Did you catch? That sidebar swoop's a funky match. It's a wink, it's a sign. Go ahead now, make it mine. Oh yes, mine is smooth, a secret show. Groovy vibes, let's make it grow. Behind the swoop, the message clear. Hit that like, bring the cheer. Ooh, sidebar swoop, it's in your sight. Funky message shining bright. Disco beats, they'll hypnotize. Hit that button, don't think twice. Ooh, subscribe, it's the move. Join the fun, get in the groove. Side by swoop, it's your cue. Hit that button, we're counting on
you. And there was another one, hang on. Where'd it go? Shine by swoop. Come on, where is it? Go back. Hit that sidebar. Feel the groove. It's not me. No. Go back. Where's my songs? Come on. Come on. Come on now. Come on. Go back home. Library. You remember this?
Tell the cicadas to shut up. We have to get this just right. I really want to make her smile, make her happy tonight. Tell the cicadas to shut up. Let's get the light just right. This is her favorite song, and we're gonna play tonight.
You remember that one? You were complaining how loud the cicadas were. That's funny. This is not mine. Why is that doing that? That were funny. That were funny. He doesn't like cicadas. Cicadas to me means summer, and that I don't mind. Like, more than happy to hear them. I made one for the mushroom murder trial, which you would have heard if you've watched the playlist. Welcome to the family. Oh, these are the sidebar ones too. What's this one?
Oh yeah, come on in. Don't be shy. Don't stop. Don't stop. We got a funky vibe. Yeah, welcome all. It's a safe spot where the truth and light. Share your thoughts. Leave your worries behind. Woo! Deep and fast, that's where you belong.
Click that like and groove along.
Hit subscribe, let the love flow free. Join the family you're meant to be. Got mysteries, stories, a thrilling ride. We dig deep, ain't no secrets to hide. No judgment here, just an open crew. We're all about justice and the honest view. Yeah, deep and fast, that's where you belong. Click that like and groove along. Hit subscribe, let the love flow free. Join the family you're meant to be.
You know what? I think I might start. I was actually going to do a new intro. I reckon I might use that song. I quite like that. Yeah. Ah. What's closer to? What's Baton Rouge? Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm with you. Oh, you're talking about the cicadas. Okay. Not the music. Yeah, I don't mind that. Well, that was good. That ended it on a happy note. That's good. I like that. Yeah. Where am I? Get rid of what's on stage. There we go. So, tomorrow, I was thinking, it didn't hurt. I thought we could go over the Sheriff Stein's Judge Mullins case and get everyone up to speed as to where we're at now in that case. That was one option. But if you've got, actually, there was one I was going to look at that Tricia mentioned, which I might do after the stream ends and have a quick look. But yeah, I might actually. There's a few that I've got in mind. There's a few that I've got in playlists that I've been holding on to. So what I might do is I'll pick the top 4 and I will put them in a poll on a post. Yes, she is. She is. In fact, she should come and present it with me. Yes. Yeah, all right. I'll pick 4 and maybe we'll have a vote. What do you reckon? We'll work something out. But tomorrow, yes, I might focus on the Judge Mullins just to update everybody. Because I think he's going for incompetency, I believe. Now, you need to go and check out the Discord. There is a great pic of Tricia getting up to some fishy business over the weekend. The link is pinned at the top of chat. And if you're not already a member, I'll go in and I'll be in there for the next 10 minutes to approve you. This poor Palola's mum's been sitting there for 2 months and I didn't realise. Sorry. All right, my darlings. Thank you very much for sticking around and listening and for giving Oaklee the attention she deserves. All right. So look after the children. Doesn't matter whose. Doesn't matter where. It's everyone's responsibility. If you see something, do something. All right. Hasta la vista, bitches. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hey there, thanks for stopping in. We hope you will join us again. We all look forward to next time. We get to talk about true crime. Clues. Justice served in an honest fight. True crime tales till the verdict's right. Solving more than just trivial quests, where sentences rule and the defense rests. Our true crime family is great. All types of topics we debate. Smash that like and ring that bell. Hit subscribe, you might as well.